Welcome in. Hello, everyone. If you're a small business and you're struggling to pay your bills, one of your sources for funds is your own accounts receivable. In the event that one of your customers is not paying for your goods or services, one of your options is to seek recovery through a lawsuit filed in the small claims court. The purpose of this segment is to familiarize you, the small business owner, with the layout of the Statement of Small Claims and Notice of Trial form, similar to the enlargement that I have next to me. My name is Attorney Feener, and I am an attorney with offices located in both Boston and Stoneham, Massachusetts. I have been assisting businesses for more than 30 years with the recovery of money and assets. As a small business owner, you have the right to utilize the small claims section of the court system to assist you in the recovery of your money. Under the current small claims rules, you can file a claim against your customer for up to $7,000 in the small claims session. I suggest, however, although you may have the right to file a small claims up to that amount, I strongly suggest that if you're owed more than $5,000, that you consider retaining an attorney to assist you in the collection of that debt. The small claims system is specifically designed for the pro se litigant. A pro se litigant is an individual who is representing themselves and is not represented by an attorney. The small claims form is a form that requires certain information for you to initiate a small claims lawsuit against another party. And again, I have an enlargement of that form to the right of me. I'd now like to go through some of the major sections of that form. In Part 1 of that form, you are required to indicate the small claims division, which can either be the Boston Municipal Court or the small claims session of a district court. Under the small claims rules, you can file the matter either where the plaintiff resides or does business or where the defendant resides or does business. You can determine the proper district court division by Googling district court for your city or town or Googling the district court for the city or town where the defendant resides or does business. Part 2, labeled Plaintiff's Name and Address, requires you to enter your name, address, zip code, and a phone number. The plaintiff is the individual or business that is filing the small claims action. There is a section for plaintiff's attorney, and if there is no attorney involved, you can ignore that section. Part 3 of the form asks you to identify the defendant or the party who you are suing. If you are suing a corporation, you should always include the name of the president or manager. As an example, if you're suing ABC Company, I suggest that you indicate under the defendant's name ABC Company, Don Jones, president or manager, along with the business address and business telephone number. The business address for corporations can be further determined and verified by going to the web page for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Secretary of State. This web page has a corporate division, and in that corporate division it provides you with the opportunity to search for the name of corporate officers by entering the name of the corporation or business. This form also allows you to enter the name of a second defendant if appropriate. Although not all courts are the same, many courts will require you to complete a separate form for an additional defendant, even though you do have an opportunity to list an additional defendant on the small claims form itself. The clerk of the small claims division of the court where you are filing the small claims action can provide you with guidance on that. However, they cannot provide you with any legal guidance. The next section is Part 4, which gives you the opportunity to state the amount you are seeking from the defendant plus the filing fee. The filing fee for a claim of $500 or less is $40. For a claim between $501 and $2,000, the filing fee is $50. For a claim that is $2,001 through $5,000, the court filing fee is $100, and for claims of $5,100 up to $7,000 is $150. In Section 4, you're also required to state the reason the defendant owes you money. An advantage of the Small Claims Division is that the Small Claims Division allows you to use everyday language without requiring special legal language or terminology. However, you need to state your claim clearly so that the defendant is on adequate notice of why they're being sued. As an example, you could use wording such as, on January 1, 2023, I provided plumbing supplies to the defendant. The defendant accepted my plumbing supplies and promised to pay. The defendant failed to honor that agreement or promise to pay, and I have been damaged by the defendant failing to honor his promise to pay for the supplies that he received from me. Again, you need to clearly state your claim so that the defendant understands why they're being sued. Section 4 also requires you to sign and date the document. Part 5 of the form is asking you whether you are willing to settle this matter through court mediation. Court mediation is generally provided at all the small claims sessions at no cost to the participants. I suggest to you that mediation is always recommended as it gives you the opportunity to participate in the decision that will be reached, and it gives you further insight as to why the defendant is not paying you. Part 6 of this form requires you to indicate whether the defendant is or is not serving in the military. Part 6 also requires you to sign and date the document for a second time. In filing a small claims complaint, it is generally required that you complete 2 additional forms for the court. One of the forms is a verification of address form confirming how you verified the address of the defendant, and the second form is a military affidavit further confirming that the individual being sued is not in the military or has the protection of military rights. This segment will not cover those forms. Both of these forms are readily available at the small claims session of the court where you are seeking to file your complaint. Once the court receives the paperwork and the filing fee, they will set up a small claims hearing date and provide notice to both you and the defendant. On that date, you are required to be in court with all your witnesses, documents, and records that you have to support your claim against the defendant. Hopefully this video has offered you some insight into the Massachusetts small claims procedure. If you're having difficulty with your business-to-business debts or accounts receivable, please feel free to contact the law office of Attorney Feener to discuss your specific situation. We offer brief free telephone consultations. For additional information, you may wish to visit our website at www.attorneyfeener.com. In conclusion, I'd like to thank you for listening to this informational segment and remind you that this informational segment can be considered to be advertising under the ethical rules. Any selection of an attorney should be a careful and thoughtful decision. Again, thank you for watching this segment and have a good day.